Audio video is okay, right? Thank you. Sip Girish. Girish, you are frozen. I was wondering, this my signal is not okay. Sip Sangamji. Sip Leena. Sip Samatma. Again, I'm asking, audio video okay, Samatma? Thank you. Sip Rajratnam. Sip Bliko. Sip Ashok. Sip Rajesh. Sip Paradyama. Sip Sudeep. Sudeep, are you getting audio video clear, Sudeep? I don't know, some people I'm seeing frozen. So I'm not sure if I'm not able to see you all late, but I hope you all are able to see me in Rekha, Sip, can you all see me? Sagaraj, is audio video okay? Okay. I can only see Samatma signal clear. Other people I'm struggling to see. So anyway, thank you. Samatma, you can hear me, audio, video, all is good. If you one person can, then everybody can. So today we are going to administrator. Today the subject of discussion is what is the mind? It's a very interesting subject. What is the mind, right? So this is the very challenging, tricky topic of discussion, but we are going to try our best to get into the subject of what is the mind. So first I have got a few minutes to talk, and then you will have question answers. I once again ask you, Girish, now can you hear me, see me, Girish? Unfortunately, maybe I am not able to see you all. But Samatma, once again, you seem to have a strong signal. Samatma, audio videos, again, I'm asking is okay. Thank you. I will not ask again. If it's not okay, you tell me. So with that note, today, our discussion is, do you have a mind? Do you have a mind is the question. Or are you mindless? Right? Do you have a mind or are you mindless? It seems that everybody has a mind. But where is the mind? We have spoken about this so many times, right? We have said we can see our eyes, we can see our nose, our heart, our brain. But the question is, where is the mind? Have we seen the mind? And then the challenge is, no, we have not seen the mind. But does the mind exist or not? This is a big question. And in the call, in this Zoom call, we know the answer. We know the answer because we have done it so many times. But today we are going to get a little deeper. We can't talk, huh? We will come back. We'll go out and come back. Okay. The problem is, you see, I have a mind. And because I seem to have a mind, I'm not able to progress because I think that you can't hear me, you can't see me. And okay, we can unmute. We'll try to. It doesn't matter. But you all can hear me, and can you? A few of you just type and say yes, you can hear me and see me. As long as I know that you can hear me and you can see me, let's continue, my dear friends. So let's get on to this talk because the best way to get onto the song, Rajesh, the best way to get onto the talk is, you know what? To sing a song. मन को कभी तूने ढूंढा, मन ये कहाँ है, मन तो माया है, ये कभी ना मिलता है. मन को कभी तूने ढूंढा, मन ये कहाँ है, मन तो माया है, कभी ना ये मिलता है. विचारों का गुच्छा मन जो है, ये संसार में हमको मन है डुबाता. मन है डुबाता, मन के ख्यालों में जो भी डूबा है, संसार की माया में वो तो फंसा है. दुखी होता है, दुखी होता है. My dear friends, the mind is the cause of our misery. It doesn't reveal itself, it's hiding, but it's the cause of our misery. And everybody, each one of us, we want to be happy. But are we happy? We are not happy. You know why we are not happy? We are not happy because of the mind. We are not happy because the mind makes us unhappy. And even a person who has transcended the mind struggles because the mind, it seems to exist. The mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. So if any of you cannot hear me, I'm just proceeding because I told you I have a bad signal. And if you cannot see me or hear me, you have to type the message on the screen so I know that there's a problem. The mind is a thought factory. It's constantly producing thoughts. When there are no thoughts, there is no mind. But when there are thoughts, the mind exists. When does the mind exist? When the thoughts exist. When there are no thoughts, there is no mind. So my dear friends, the mind is our biggest enemy. It can produce positive thoughts, negative thoughts, depending on what we feed it. Whether we are feeding the mind pep or we are feeding the mind nep. What are we feeding the mind? And the moment you don't feed positive emotions to the mind, something new I'm telling you today, the moment you do not feed the mind constantly with pep, it will produce nep. It will produce negative thoughts. Samatma, you can hear me still? I hear somebody saying they can't hear me, but you can hear me. So I'm going by Samatma because Tushatma, if you cannot hear me, check your signal. Maybe you are in the Maldives or you are in a Kashmir. I don't know where you are. Because Samatma can hear me means my signal is coming out to you clearly. The moment we don't feed the mind, the problem is the mind will feed itself with negative thoughts. And you know what does the mind do? It creates fear, creates worry, stress, anxiety, depression. The mind is a champion. It is a champion. I call champion. It's champion. It is not a spiritual champion. It is a sorrow champion. Sorrow champion. It creates sorrow. It is an expert in creating sorrow. My dear friends, and we don't want misery. We don't want misery. The mind joins along with the ego. It becomes mind and ego. Me. It creates hate, anger, revenge, jealousy. And this steals our happiness. It kills our consciousness. It robs us of our intellect. It stops us from discrimination. Therefore, we have to kill the mind. But the problem is most people don't know how to deal with the mind. Where is the mind? Does the mind exist? Of course, it does. There's no doubt, right? The mind exists, there's no doubt. But we also know that as long as there is thought, there is mind. And the moment there is no thought, there is no mind, because the mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. So, my dear friends, as I said today, the best thing for me to do, as long as you can hear me, is to sing. Because when I sing, at least my mind is low and my consciousness is high. So, Samatma, put a thumbs up. Once again, I say, Samatma, sing, all is good. Thank you. मन बड़ा है चोर, चैन चुराता है, डर और चिंता में हमें डुबाता है, सत्य छुपाता है, मिथ्या दिखाता है, शांति जो अपनी मन चुराता है, मन को है मारना, दुश्मन बड़ा है वो, मन को जो मारे मुक्ति वो पाता, शांति से मिला क्या हसी आनंद, सत्य के चित्त में मिला सच्चिदानंद, शांति से मिला. My dear friends, was the bhajan clear? Sound, audio, videos, I hope it's okay. Samatma, thank you. I have one guardian angel who's guiding and saying, yes, it's okay. So I know that you're getting my voice. My dear friends, the challenge is this. How do we kill the mind? We know we have to still the mind. We know it. But how? It's not easy. It's not easy because the mind you can't find. And because the mind you can't find, we struggle. We struggle with this damn mind because it's a bundle of thoughts. I'm trying to change my phone. I'm going to make one more attempt. Because if I have a better connection,
then I'm better off. Yes, how's this connection? Girish, how's this connection? Okay, thank you. So I'm going to try to see if this connection works. So my dear friends, hopefully I have a better connection now because I'm on a different Wi-Fi. Because when I can't see you guys responding, then I wonder whether something is wrong or not. So the challenge is, how do we control the mind? How do we still the mind? How do we, because the mind will return. The mind is like a phoenix. You know, right? The mind is like a phoenix. The mind, even if you kill it, if you still it, it will come back. So the challenge is, how do you deal with this mind which seems to exist? Actually, there is no mind, but this mind seems to exist. So how do you deal with this mind? So one other way to do is to empty the mind. And somebody asked the question, how do you empty the mind? You know how do you empty the mind? A man went to the master and asked the master, I want to empty the mind. How to empty the mind? So the man, what did the master do? He was just talking to this man and he was pouring a cup of tea. And he kept on pouring the cup of tea, kept on pouring the cup of tea till such time that the cup was overflowing. Then he made him understand. He said, our cup of life is so full. Our cup of life is so full of thoughts. And we are going on pouring. We are going on pouring into the cup of life. And as long as we go on pouring into the cup of life, then what happens? If you keep on pouring into the cup of life, then you will never be able to empty the mind, because the problem is all the time, your mind is full. Your mind is full of so much garbage that you are unable to empty the mind. So how are you going to stop pouring? Stop going on pouring thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. Stop thinking. The problem is we are so aggressively thinking. How are we going to stop this thinking? This is a challenge. We have to stop this thinking. So as long as we are going to keep on having more and more and more thoughts, that it's not going to work. So our challenge is this. Our challenge is to stop adding new thoughts, more and more thoughts. And this will help us. This will help us achieve what is called an empty mind state. Again, as I said, it's not so easy to reach the state of having an empty mind, but it's possible. And my mind is not stopping. And I'm trying again and again, and now I've tried a new connection. Help me unmute, please. Let me unmute. Do you want to unmute?
Yeah, we are able to listen to you clearly. It's fine.
Yeah. Now are you able to listen to me? How is it now? Is it better? Same, worse? Good. I have tried to get to a better connection. I do not know whether it will work or not, but we are trying. You see, I also have a mind. The problem is I have a mind. And as long as I have a mind working and mind thinking, I'm talking to a screen and I'm seeing no emotions. Now, finally, I'm seeing you all moving. Now I'm seeing Girish's eyes are moving slightly. Otherwise, it looked like I was talking to a dummy Girish. So now let us see whether we are able to make it or not. All right. So my dear friends, how can we become a master of the mind? And I promise you that we are going to get back into action, because whatever we missed in the few minutes of this confusion, I'll make sure that before the end of this call, we make up for it. So my dear friends, up to now, what I was telling you is, what is the mind? The mind appears to be, but there is no mind. The mind is just a bundle of thoughts. And this mind of bundle of thoughts is the cause of our fear, worry, stress, anxiety. It goes on producing thoughts. And we have to learn what is the mind.
We don't know. Even today, I'm telling you, I'll ask you questions and you cannot answer me what is the mind. I'm going to question you. Unless we become a master of the mind, we become a master of the thoughts. Remember this man, they asked him how to empty the mind. He kept on pouring tea into the cup. The cup was overflowing. So, my dear friends, how do we deal with this mind? So, one of the best ways I do is I sing. That's why today I've already sung 2 songs. And now I'm singing the next. सीखा जिसने शांति में ही संयम से मन को बांधना, संसार में जो भी है जीता, संसार में सदा डूबा, संसार में सदा डूबा, तुझे घर पाना तो करनी साधना, शांति में पल पल मैं जीऊं, शांति में तुझको मैं पाऊंगा, शांति बिन मैं यूं ही मर जाऊं. I don't know how many of you have been to the Maldives. I come to Maldives practically every month. I was watching the sunset for the last 1.5 hours. And this morning I was watching the sunrise 45 minutes before the sun rose. It's called the moment of dawn. Most of you are not even born, which means that you're sleeping. You are so sleeping that the sun, forget about dawn. Huh? You are dead and gone. The whole ocean was red this morning. The whole ocean was red before the sun came out. My dear friends, the problem is we are not able to still the mind. Because the mind is a dangerous monkey. It's a, you know what you call it? It's a chimpanzee. I'm giving a new word today. It's a chimpanzee. It's that wild chimp. It's like that. And this dangerous monkey, you know, what does the mind do? Today's latest things I'm telling you. First of all, Girish, now you can hear me clearly. Samatma, you can hear me clearly. So today I'm giving you a secret. I'm giving you a secret. Ready? What is mind? Mind is M-I-N-D. Misery, ignorance, nep, desires. What is mind? Mind is nothing but misery, ignorance, nep, negative energy, poison, and desires. What does this mind do? The acronym. The mind is not our friend. What does it do? It makes us live with fear, worry, stress, anxiety. It increases our stress up to a level of depression. It never lets us be in peace because of nep, and it destroys our consciousness because of desires. So, do you want the mind? Do you want the mind? Any of you? You know how the mind troubles me? I wish I could burn the mind into ashes. I wish, but the damn it mind, it never dies till we die. Therefore, what does the mind do? M makes us caught in thought, creates fear, worry, stress, anxiety. Then, after that, what does it do? I creates ignorance, steals our peace. You remember the story? There was this man. He was taking his goat, bakri, to the market. Somebody came and told him, boss, तुम्हारा कुत्ता बहुत अच्छा है. तुम्हारा कुत्ता बहुत अच्छा है. कितना दाम मिलेगा? He said, boss, ये कुत्ता नहीं बकरी है. This is bliss. He said, this is not a dog. This is a goat. And I can't see bliss. I think bliss is missing today. I'm not sure the bliss is there. So then that man was going. This man got together with, hi bliss. Okay, I can see you. So this man, he got 5 more people and told that man, we want to buy your beautiful dog, the best dog in the world. The man said, what are you talking? This is not a dog, this is a goat. Another few minutes later, another 10 people came and they got together and told, come on, no, tell us how much money you want. You're going to market to sell your dog. That man started looking at the goat and said, am I gone mad? This is not a dog, it's a goat. They are all saying it's a dog. Then finally they told him, we'll give you 10,000 rupees. Will you give? So he said, okay, I sell my dog for 10,000. Immediately one man came and gave him one slap. He said, you bloody fool, you are carrying a goat which is 1,000 rupees and you are making fool of us. You want to sell your goat for 10,000 rupees as a dog? It's a story. I don't remember whose story this is. This is one of our famous stories. My dear friends, it's all to do with the mind.
Mullah
It's all
Nasruddin. Mullah Nasruddin.
Nasruddin. This is our famous Mullah. Mullah Nasruddin story about the goat and the dog. But it's not, we are not talking about goat and dog. We are talking about the mind, my dear friends. It is the cause. What is the cause? The cause is only the mind. And today we are trying to understand what is the mind. I gave you M makes us full of fear, worry, stress. I, ignorance. N, negative poison. The mind is making us full of negative poison. It steals our peace. That's why what do I say always? I say, man sabse bada dushman. मन सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन है ये, ख्यालों में हमें डुबाता है, प्रभु दिल के अंदर ही बसते हैं, पर मन प्रभु को दूर कराता है, मन सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन है ये, ख्यालों में हमें ये डुबाता है. My dear friends, are you telling me that you don't have trouble with your mind? Can I have one person here who tells me your mind doesn't trouble you? Everybody alive has a problem with the mind. And Bliko says, I have the biggest problem with the mind. If Bliko says, I'm willing to sell my mind, buy one, take 1 lakh free. Somebody says, I will buy your mind. Bliko saying, I will give my mind also and I will give you 1 lakh rupees to take my mind free. What 1 lakh? I'll give you 10 lakhs. Take my mind and go. But mind is not willing to go. We become, the mind makes us ride on a horse. The mind becomes the boss. And we are fully sinking in the ever yelling, ever yearning mind. I don't think I told you. Girish, did I tell you the story of the princess who fell in love with a rat? I told the story, Bliko, Girish? No. How come? It's a new story we got. So what happened? There was a princess. And she was going to become a queen. And this princess was going to become a queen, and she had all the jewels and diamonds and gems and gold and palaces. And the king was going to make her the queen. And she had a younger sister. Am I back? Can you all hear me? Is it okay? So this is a story, right? Okay. So where are we? So we were talking about this princess, and she fell in love with a rat. And the rat told her, I'm going to take you to a new kingdom. And the rat took her, and the rat made her mind believe that the rat is going to take her to the kingdom of rats. And this princess, she followed this rat, and it's a folk tale, it's like a fairy tale. And this princess went and she left the palace, and she followed the rat. And then what happened? The rat took her into the rat hole, and she got trapped. Now she wants to come out. Now she's using her intellect, and she wants to come out, but she can't come out because she's trapped in the rat hole. Then what happens? What does the story tell us? Finally, she escapes and she comes back, but her younger sister has already become the queen. By the time we are able to overcome our mind with the intellect, the opportunity is lost. Our life has escaped us. Very often, we let the mind make us a prisoner, the mind make us a slave. And this little fairy tale of the princess reminds us that we should not be the princess who runs behind the rat. Because, I was telling people, I ran behind a rat when I was 13 years old. When I was 13 years old, I fell in love, and I thought I was madly in love. And for 7 to 8 years, I was in love. And then, like this princess who ran behind the rat, I also ran behind the rat. I'm also telling you, only my rat was Minnie Mouse. My rat was a little Minnie Mouse, and I was running behind the rat. And by the time I realized it, I made the biggest mistake of my life. I can't tell you all that mistake right now. But my mind made me make the biggest mistake. Probably because of that biggest mistake of my life, I became AiR. If I had not made that biggest mistake of my life, maybe I would have just been a businessman and a big achiever and success. So my dear friends, back to the subject. I do not know whether you are able to, are you able to see me? Are you still okay? You can still hear me, see me? Are we okay? Are we okay? So the point is this,
we have to learn to be in a state of consciousness. We have to learn to be in a state of consciousness. And we have to learn to control thoughts. Because if we don't control thoughts, then we will be a slave of the mind. And the mind will make us go crazy. The mind will do mad things. Unless we are in a state of consciousness, then the intellect will shine. And we will be able to discriminate. So today, what did I tell you? Today, the new thing I told you, what is the mind? Correct? What is the subject I asked you today? What is the mind? And the mind is nothing but misery, ignorance, nep, and desires. As long as we are going to have these four, misery, ignorance, nep, and desires, what's going to happen? We are going to be miserable. How many of you want to be miserable in this life? Tell me. How many of you would like to be miserable? Can you tell me, yes, I want to be miserable. Yeah, I want to be miserable. Nobody wants to. Why do we become miserable? You and me both. Why do we become miserable? Because of the mind. Where is the mind? You cannot find. But the mind is making us miserable. Kill the mind before the mind kills you. Activate the intellect. By activating the intellect, you have destroyed the mind. Because you are in consciousness. Be a master. Be the boss. Don't let your mind ride the horse. You need to be liberated in bliss. You know what happens when the mind takes charge, my dear friends? When the mind takes charge, the mind becomes the boss. We become the slave. Huh? Today, all Indians are celebrating. You know why Indians are celebrating? You know why Indians are celebrating? Indians are celebrating only because of the mind. You know that? Indians are celebrating because India has become the king of Britain. An Indian has become Prime Minister of Britain, and all Indians in the head have become very happy. Nothing happened to them. It did not change their idli, dosa, paratha, chow-chow-bath. Nothing happened. But they are very happy because Rishi Sunak, who's an Indian, has become Prime Minister of. Today I got a video. It says, when the British were ruling India, they said Indians and dogs not allowed. When the British were ruling India, they said dogs and Indians not allowed. Today, an Indian is in 10 Downing Street along with his dog. Today, an Indian is in 10 Downing Street along with his dog. But this is just a story about I wanted to give some comedy after all this confusion of my connection being upside down. My dear friends, next week I'm going to talk. Something is holding us back from realization and liberation. What? Next week, something is holding us back from realization and liberation. There are 2 points. One is realization, one is liberation. Something is holding us back. What? We will analyze this. We will have an analysis and then we will have question answers. But now I want you to ask me questions. What is the mind? Tell me about your mind. Ask me questions where you are stuck. Which part of the mind are you in? Are you in intellect? Are you always discriminating? How often the mind takes over? How often the mind and ego takes charge? How often the mind decides and then you regret? How often your mind spoils your mood? How many of you are moody? Moody. You know moody? Moody means kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. Sometimes you're oh so happy, and the next moment the mind has stolen your happiness. And you don't even realize it. The biggest thief is the mind. The biggest thief is the mind. M-I-N-D fills our life with misery, fills our life with ignorance, fills our life with nep, fills our life with desires. What is mind? Mind is one that fills us with misery, ignorance, negativity, and desires. And you want it? You want it? You keep it. I don't want it. I don't want the mind. If the mind comes, I tell the mind, tata, goodbye. Huh? So I like to live by the intellect. I like to live in consciousness. So let us try to get into question answers. I'm hoping that we will have an interesting question answer session because hopefully we have a better connection. Administrator, can we unmute everybody? I had about I don't know how many 100 or 200 Maldivian rufias in my system. And my mind told me, my mind took over the connection. My mind told me,
just on the data. And I had activated a package for 20 rupees. And suddenly my 200 rupees gone in 2 minutes because the mind made me just touch one button when the call was going on. And like it disappeared. This is what the mind does. Just now my mind fooled me. Just now. Because instead of buying a package, I touched the button. I was in my mind filled me with what? Filled me with negativity, impatience. I touched the button. My entire prepaid on my Maldivian SIM card became zero. How the mind fools us and makes us an idiot. Chalo, don't worry. This is not a big deal. It's a small thing for me, not a big deal. Rohit and then Ashok Chotwan. Rohit. Rohit, my dear. Okay, Rohit is not available. Ashok Chotwan. Ashok Chotwan. Samatma, is my signal okay? Audio, video? Good. Ashok, administrator, help them to unmute, please. Help them to unmute. Administrator. Unmute. Yes, Ashok.
I'm can't. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rohit. Yeah, I will be the second.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
We
Hello.
can't hear.
Yeah.
I think AiR
Sure.
is.
Rohit, you are talking or I should talk, sir?
Yeah, you can go first, sir. I will go
Oh,
after you.
okay.
Ashok Chotwani, please come.
Yeah, Shivam, sir.
Shivam, sir.
Sir, my question is, while sitting in silence, sometimes mind brings the past negative things, due to which we are disturbing. How to overcome them?
That is the job of the mind. That is the
Yeah.
job of the mind. The job of the mind is to spoil your mood, is to create fear, stress, worry, anxiety, to take you to the past, to nurse your hurts and curse your hurts and rehearse your hurts. The mind will take you to the past and make you miserable. Then the
Yeah.
mind will take you to the future and make you fear. And the mind will steal your silence. And your mind will steal your peace. Ashok Chotwani, you have to sit like a watchman. कभी watchman को देखा है? Security guard watchman देखा है?
Yeah, in our buildings. Yeah.
See, the problem is Ashok Chotwani, there are people, when the mind comes, you know what the people do? They say, come, sit down. They give the chair. They open the door and they give a chair. They say, come on, please come and sit. Then what happens, Ashok? If you give a chair to the mind, if you open the door, then what the mind will do?
Yeah, we should close the door at the time of thoughts comes.
Thoughts come uninvited. Thoughts come uninvited. They don't knock on the door. They come inside and they smash you on the floor. Push them out and shut the door. Write this quote on your table and keep it. Thoughts
Yes, sir.
come uninvited. They don't knock at the door. Once they enter, they will push you on the floor. Push them out and shut the door. But if you only invite the thought, Ashok, if you are letting the thought come, then what to do, Ashok?
I will be disturbed, sir. Yeah.
Not disturbed, you will be finished. You will be finished. Not disturbed, you will be khatam. Khatam. I know people whose lives get ruined by the mind. I am telling you, people, their life gets ruined, completely ruined because of mind. Okay, Rohit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Rohit,
Yeah, Shivam Guruji.
show him, sir.
Yeah. So I do actually. I'm just asking this, which is the best way to do? I usually do these three things to still the mind. First is I do Namasmarant, so that I keep the mind engaged. Otherwise, it will go and think negative. Second is I try to come out of the mind and just try to witness the mind, whatever thoughts which are coming. And third one is I don't identify myself with the mind. When we identify ourselves as a mind, then we have all the uh, issues. So I try to do neti uh, and stay away, saying that I'm
Rohit,
not the mind. Yeah.
Rohit, what you're
So
speaking is
which
very
is the
nice,
best?
Rohit. No, what you're speaking is very nice. But the problem is this, Rohit. When you're talking, when you're doing Nam Smaran, the mind is engaged. Suppose you are doing Shivoham, 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 Shivoham. The moment you stop doing Shivoham, what happens?
Again, it gets
Back to square one.
yes,
Mind
square
comes.
one.
So, and when you say I'm trying to not be the mind, no, we have to reach that state of consciousness. We have to reach that state of consciousness, which is a state of thoughtlessness. Through constant practice and through what we call enlightenment and the realization, there is a mind, there is no mind. First of all, you should become a champion in this subject that there is no mind. Stop
Yeah.
using the
So
word mind. For example,
Hmm.
when the thoughts come, stop it. Stop the thought. Tell yourself, stop it, stupid. You have to stop the stupid thought. You have to make it a habit. You know, Rohit, have you seen in heavy rain sometimes? They open the floodgates. Why they open the floodgates? If you don't open the floodgate, the dam will burst. Correct? But the moment they open the floodgates, the entire crops, everything goes to hell. Because the waters will flood. We have to stop this flooding business. And the way to stop this flooding business, tell me who can give the answer? Who will tell me how to stop? Who's the champion in this call? Let me see who's the master in this call. Who can give Rohit an answer? I want Rohit. I want answer for Rohit. Who is the master? Come on.
Cut down EY.
And
make it the monkey mind into a monk.
That is a master. Absolutely correct. Girish gets a master stroke today. What did Girish do? Rohit, if you want the mind to stop, Rohit, cut EY, cut the ever yelling and the ever yearning, and make the monkey mind into a monk. Unless your monkey mind becomes a monk, you will never be able to solve this. Ashok Chotwani, you understand the point, Ashok Chotwani? Suppose you keep on saying, Ashok Chotwani, today you say, आज मुझे समोसा चाहिए, और समोसे का साथ मुझे हरी मिर्ची चाहिए, हरी मिर्ची. So you want samosa with hari mirchi means your mind is on the hari mirchi and not on the hari. I always say, dhyan should not be on the hari mirch, but dhyan should be on hari. What does it mean? You can enjoy the samosa and the hari mirch, but the yearning should not be there. The yearning and the yelling. Why do I tell people, stop the noise? You people, you are in too much noise. You go to do Deepavali crackers. Deepavali crackers is noise. Change your paradigm, change your lifestyle to peace. Peace is the foundation of happiness. You don't want galata, you don't want noise. A lot of people, they ask me, how good is laughter for spirituality? Today I got a question on Quora. How good is laughter for spirituality? Anybody who can answer this? How good is laughter for spirituality? Anybody?
It's not related to spirituality.
Correct. Good, Rohit. Good answer. Laughter is only for the body. That means you want to please your body. Then you are going to be in that gadi. If you are going to go on pleasing your body, then you will remain in this gadi and your car will take you to the wrong destination because your direction is wrong. Therefore, Girish, good answer.
Yeah, Guruji. But still, it's not clear to me. You said make the monkey mind a monk, but then how to make the monkey mind the monk? Just by saying stop.
Take the word monkey. Take the word monkey and cut the tail. What is the tail? EY. If you take monkey, cut the tail, it becomes a monk. When does monkey become monk? When you cut EY. Agreed?
EY.
What is EY meaning? Ever yelling, ever yearning. What is EY, Rohit?
What does that mean?
Means I keep on having desires. मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे नाश्ता के लिए ये चाहिए, कपड़ा के लिए ये चाहिए, दीपावली के लिए ये चाहिए, न्यू ईयर के लिए ये चाहिए. क्यों चाहिए रोहित? कुछ ले जाएंगे साथ में, कुछ ले जाएंगे. I want him and I want her and I want it. I want him also and I want her also and I want it also. What is this? What is this going on craving and craving and craving, Rohit? Is it okay?
But how do we stop that? I understand that we should.
No,
I understand that we should stop that. The desire, stop desires, or whatever desires which are coming, we should stop.
Every day sing this song. Every day.
Just by saying stop, it doesn't stop.
No. Every day you sing this song. Shanti se mila, kya hasi anand, sat ke chit mein mila, Satchidanand. The problem, Rohit, you've not experienced Satchidanand. Talk to people who experience Satchit Anand. When you experience Satchit Anand, then you will not ask, you will not crave for material things. मन बड़ा है चोर, चैन चुराता है, डर और चिंता में हमें डुबाता है. What does the mind do, Rohit? The mind is craving. Therefore, because of craving, there is stress, there is anxiety, there is disappointment. Suppose you remove the craving, there is no stress, there is no anxiety.
How to remove that craving is that,
by realizing nothing is mine. I cannot take anything when I go. Tomorrow if I die, nothing is mine. Nobody is mine. Suppose you're in love with suppose you're in love with a girl and you are mad about that girl. Make yourself realize, but ultimately that girl cannot go with you. I'm just giving an example. So be detached. Doesn't mean you should stop loving, but be detached. Don't let the love in consciousness. This is called love in consciousness. How do you do it?
So does it? So are we witnessing the desires and thoughts and we are not identifying ourselves as a thoughts or desires?
You become a master of thoughts. You become a master of desires. You have to become a man. Instead of M becoming misery, let M become master. Instead of I becoming ignorance, please make note. M instead of become misery, it should become master. I instead of ignorance, it should become intellect. N instead of becoming net, it should become no thoughts. And D instead of desires, there should be discrimination. So we changed the whole acronym of mind. The acronym of mind should be master, intellect, no thought, and discrimination. This is the real, this should become our mind. You get the point? I've changed the mind just now. I didn't have the answer. Sip gave the answer. Ting, 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 ting. Answer came just now. What is the first acronym I told you all? Misery, ignorance, nep, and desires. This is the mind. When you become a master, then you become a master with intelligence, no thoughts, and discrimination. Then, Rohit, then you're free. Have you written down the 4 words, Rohit? Have you written down the words? And focus, Rohit, focus on the word monk. M-O-N-K, monk. And we'll also give an acronym for the word monk. M-O-N-K. M will be master. O will be only in yoga. M will be a master. O, only in yoga. N, no thoughts. M-O-N, no thoughts. And K, who the monk?
Kill the mind.
रू माता जी बोली, किसने बोला?
Ru
Mata ji stole the show. She says a monk is a master only in yoga, no thoughts, kill the mind. He has killed the mind. That's the monk. So we have gotten 2-3 new acronyms today. So Rohit, please contemplate on the word monk. Be a master. Only in yoga. No thoughts. Kill the mind. Why kill the mind? If you have no thoughts, the mind will come back. Kill the mind means the mind cannot come back. Kill the mind and be in consciousness. Huh? K is kill the mind and
Guruji,
consciousness. Yes.
yeah. Sorry,
Hold.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
That when
But
you
how
kill
to
the
do it?
mind,
Your question is how to do it.
Yeah, I know. I understand that by killing the mind only that anubhuti will come out. But
You see, I already know
yeah.
your mind. I already know your mind. Your question was how to do it. Correct. I already know the question. No, who's asking this question? Do it.
Mind.
Your mind is telling nahi hota Rohit. Aisa nahi hota ji. Your mind is telling you not possible Rohit. You cannot kill me Rohit. You cannot be monk Rohit. Who's telling this Rohit?
Mind.
Now you understanding? Kill the mind. Kill the mind. What do you mean of killing the mind, Rohit? What is the mind? What is the mind, Rohit? Rohit, what is the mind?
Mind is misery, I is ignorance, and is nep.
Bliko, what is the mind?
And is desire.
Bliko.
Monk.
Mind is a rascal.
Mind is a
what
rascal.
is the mind? What is the mind? Samatma, what is
Saitan.
No, what is the mind? What is the mind? Girish?
So master, intellect.
Thoughts, discrimination.
Thoughts,
No,
discrimination.
I told her in the beginning of the session. Sudeep Bhargava, what is mind, Sudeep Bhargava?
Mind is a thought factory.
Sudeep Bhargava.
Sir, the original mind was misery, ignorance, nep, and D was
desire.
Rajesh, what is the mind, Rajesh?
Biggest enemy.
Ignorance, negative energy, and desire.
All of you are controlled by mind. Yogini, what is the mind actually, Yogini?
A bundle of thoughts.
Who gave the answer? Bundle of thoughts?
Kavita.
Kavita. Good. Kavita is in consciousness. Kavita is in mind. Rohit, mind is only a bundle of thoughts. There is no mind, Rohit. Rohit. There is no mind. Have you ever seen the mind? My dear Rohit, have you ever seen the mind?
Yeah, every day I see it.
Where? In the mirror?
No, but I because I identify my thoughts as me.
That is your biggest mistake. But you know the mind doesn't exist. Nobody has seen the mind.
It doesn't exist. Yeah.
When the mind, wait. When the bundle of thoughts appears, it becomes the mind.
Yes.
When the bundle of thought appears like this, it becomes the mind. When one thought appears, it is not the mind. It is a thought. When thought comes, it becomes mind. So what do you need to do, Rohit? You have to stop the bundle of thoughts. The bundle of thoughts, what all of you said is correct, but your mind was speaking, your intellect was not speaking. The mind, the acronym of mind is misery, ignorance, nep, and desires. What should we make it? We should make it what should we change it to? MIND now?
Master,
intellect. No thoughts.
Master, intellect, no thoughts.
No thought, discrimination.
Good, very good. And who's a monk? Who's the MONK? Who's a monk?
Master only in yoga, no thoughts in the mind.
Correct. See, all of you are very committed to it. But all of you are committed to it in these 30 minutes. You are all super. Ashok should only laugh for everybody. You are all committed for it in these 30 to 40 minutes. Uske baad, मन बड़ा है चोर, ज़ूम चुराता है, जो भी हमने सीखा उसको मिटाता है, एयर को गोली मारो, मन से शादी करो, संसार में डूबो, मुक्ति को भूलो. This becomes your story. Huh? After this 30 minutes, एयर को गोली मारो, एयर को कल फल मिलके गोजू में मिलेगा.
गुरुजी प्रणाम. शिवोहम गुरुजी.
प्रणाम माता जी, बोलो.
Guruji, is there any stage when you are not in consciousness and you are not in Bhoga also? You are just the way you are.
You're asking me.
Yes.
The question is posed to AiR, right?
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah. So what happens is kabhi-kabhi shaitan aata hai. Shaitan. The devil comes and the devil steals my consciousness. And as the devil steals my consciousness, I come to know. What I come to know, Rumata ji? मैं क्या देखता हूँ? अरे चोर, ए शैतान. फिर मैं बोलता हूँ सावधान. And I say, शैतान जाओ, भगवान आ जाओ. I remove the shaitan and I catch the Bhagavan. The moment you are conscious that the chore has come, the moment you're conscious the devil has come, the shaitan has come, you can catch it and you can latch it. Rumata ji, what you must do? Watch it, catch it and latch it.
That's it.
हम क्यों नहीं करते रूमाता जी?
ऐसी स्टेज नहीं ना होती, ऐसी स्टेज नहीं ना होती कि कुछ भी ना हो. You are just the way you are.
रूमाता जी, मैं तो वही जस्ट यू आर, मैं तो वैसे ही हूँ, ठीक है. लेकिन ये शैतान छोड़ेगा क्या? जब तक हम up to the time we are alive, will the shaitan leave us? Tell me, will the shaitan leave?
No. पर गुरुजी कभी ऐसा फील होता है कि कुछ भी नहीं है.
मतलब सुनो
I can't explain के मतलब उस वक्त कुछ भी फीलिंग नहीं है, विदाउट फीलिंग है, ऐसा फील होता है कभी.
मैं तो एक दिन में 14 घंटा ऐसे हूँ. 14 hours I am in consciousness. 14 hours I am not disturbed. So today somebody called me from Bangalore. I am sitting where? मैं कहाँ हूँ रूमती? मैं कहाँ पे हूँ?
मालदीव्स.
मैं मालदीव्स में हूँ, मैं आनंद में बैठा हूँ. किसी ने बैंगलोर से फोन किया कि तुम्हारे ड्राइवर ने किसी एक लड़के का साइकिल लेकर उसको तोड़ दिया. तो मैंने बोला मेरे ड्राइवर ने क्यों किसी का साइकिल लेके तोड़ दिया? तो मैं तुरंत अपने ड्राइवर को फोन किया, यार तुम तो बहुत डिसेंट आदमी है, तुमने किसी का साइकिल क्यों तोड़ा यार? तो उसने बोला सर मैंने किसी का साइकिल नहीं तोड़ा, ये तो झूठ बात है, मैंने किसी का साइकिल नहीं तोड़ा. तो फिर मैंने वो शैतान को फोन किया. कौन सा शैतान को फोन किया जिसने झूठी बात बोली? तो मैं शैतान को पूछा, डिड यू सी दैट ही हैज ब्रोकन द साइकिल? तो बोली नहीं, ही हैज नॉट ब्रोकन द साइकिल, आई सॉ हिम ओनली टचिंग द साइकिल.
How much difference is there between the two statements?
लेकिन but for that 5 minutes they robbed my consciousness, ना रूमाता जी?
Yes.
I'm giving an example. आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा और फिर क्या हुआ रूमाता जी? नॉर्मली ना आपके लाइफ में ऐसा होगा तो what you will do after you lose your consciousness ना, आपको वापस आने में बहुत टाइम लगता है. मैं कभी एरू को बोलता हूँ, एरू का अगर मूड खराब हो जाता है ना, उसको वापस आने में कभी 1-2 घंटा लगता है. 1-2 घंटा लगता है. तो एरो को बोलता हूँ तुम्हें 2 घंटा क्यों चाहिए मूड सही करने के लिए? स्पॉट में मूड चेंज करो, फ्लिप द कॉइन. इसलिए मैं एरो को बोला तुम कीचेन रखो, तुम्हारा कीचेन माइंड एंड कॉन्शियसनेस कीचेन चेंज करो. जिधर भी चाबी है घर में, 1 कीचेन, 2 कीचेन, 3 कीचेन, सब कीचेन माइंड एंड कॉन्शियसनेस करो. वी हैव टू रूमाता जी, अगर हमारी लाइफ में इफ वी गेट अनहैप्पी और वी गेट रॉन्ग थॉट और माइंड थॉट, वी सिंक इनटू इट. Then coming out of that mood, I come out of that mood in 1 minute. You cannot come out of the mood so fast. You take 1 hour. Kabhi Rumata ji, when I used to get bad mood, kabhi, you know Rumata ji, my own story, pata hai? Mera mood kabhi theek hota tha, pata hai? Girish, you know, my bad mood, it used to become okay after 3 days. My bad mood used to be last for 3 days. मेरे लाइफ में मंडे को कभी मैं फास्टिंग करता था. लोग मेरे सामने आने के लिए डरते थे. मंडे एयर के सामने मत जाओ, फास्टिंग है, तुम्हारे को ऐसा डांटेगा, एयर के सामने मत जाओ. People used to be scared to come to me on Mondays.
तो अभी ये सब बदल गया.
और अब सब मंडीज को आना चाहते हैं आपके पास.
Because conscious mind became consciousness. Okay, Amitash and then Tushatma. Amitash.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. But today's session is very important. Huh? Today's session, अगर आपने mind पे control किया, mind का master बना, तो आप मुक्त हो गए, निर्वाण पा लिया. जिसने mind का mastery किया तो वो निर्वाण पा लिया. Mind को master करना है. मन बड़ा है चोर. मन बड़ा है चोर. Yes, Amitash and Tushatma. Amitash, bolo.
Shivam Guruji.
Shivam, sir.
Just today, no question because I've come after several months to this call.
Okay.
And just looking at you and hearing the conversations, I just feel grateful and just wanted
Please
to.
join. Please join every day, because I was telling yesterday in the call, this call is like a necklace of pearls or crystals. If the necklace breaks and one bead falls off, before you reach home, all the beads will fall. Only the dhaga will be on your neck. All the beads will fall away. So don't lose. Every bead, every pearl, every crystal must be on the necklace of your life. Don't break that. That's why keep that necklace, keep every bead, every pearl in place. Thank you. Tushatma.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam, sir. Bolo.
Sir, my question is, what is the subconscious mind? So whatever, yes.
When there is no mind, what is subconscious mind? Tell me.
Sir, no, whatever we
Did
are
you pay attention? Did you pay attention to the call? What is the mind, Tushatma?
Yes, sir. Mind is a bundle of thought, we say.
Correct.
But
So what is
whatever we
subconscious
are,
mind? No, you tell me. You know what is mind. Mind is bundle of thoughts. What is subconscious mind?
is a memory and thought.
Yeah. It is a bundle of subconscious thoughts.
Subconscious. Yes, sir.
Mind is a bundle of thoughts. Subconscious mind is a bundle of subconscious thoughts. What does it mean? It means when the body is sleeping, the mind, which is a bundle of subconscious thoughts, appear as your dream.
So, sir, whatever we are expressing is also the part of mind, or now whatever I am saying is also the part of mind, or it is different?
What you're seeing is part of consciousness.
No, whatever I am saying, sir, whatever I am expressing in the form of words, or whatever I am.
Can you express a form of words without your mouth and your teeth?
That is the sense, with the help of sense. So it is coming from the mind.
The body, mind, ego, soul is a whole complex is talking. You can't tell whether the mind is talking or mouth is talking or Tushatma is talking. A man called Tushatma, who is made up of hardware, software, and power supply, the human computer is talking. Without hardware, computer cannot work. Without software, computer cannot work. Without power supply, computer cannot work. So Tushatma cannot work.
So, sir, we cannot say that the whole means Jivatma is expressing it.
Absolutely. Without the Jiva, how can the Atma express? Without the Atma, how can Jiva express? With the body and the Atma, without the mind, how can you express?
Yes, sir. But when we separate this body, senses, and that senses and the inner nature, which is the mind and intellect and the other thing. So when we are separating them, so from where this is coming? Is it the part of mind or the whole
Tushatma, how do you commute? My bus, car, scooter, how do you commute? How do you go? How do you travel? By bus, car, Uber, auto, bus, gadi, car, how do you commute?
Vehicles, cars, car and bike.
Car, na? So tomorrow you remove the driving wheel and you go to car, you drive the car. Can you?
No, sir.
Okay, you put a driving wheel, you remove the petrol tank and you drive the car tomorrow. Can you?
Sir, but it is all the part of Jivatma, means Atma only we are saying.
In the car, I'm asking question. Without the driving wheel, without the petrol tank, without the engine, can the car work?
So I don't know about that, but the body will not work without the Atma.
You don't know if the car can work without petrol tank. The car can work or cannot work?
It cannot, without that, what you are saying, it will not work.
So similarly, you cannot work, Tushatma cannot work without body, mind, soul. So what is your confusion?
No, sir. Means this whatever we are creating or whatever we are expressing, whatever is, I believe, is the part of the mind. Whatever we are seeing also is the part of the mind only.
So your eyes also part of the mind, is it?
No, eyes, the energy which is seeing and which is imagine, which is imagining that the things, illuminating the thing, is the part of the mind only.
Wrong. Wrong. You have been wrongly guided. Which all the source of your knowledge is not correct. The eyes are wired to the brain through neurons and nerves. You are confusing brain and nerves to mind. So you need to brush up your knowledge. Please read what is called Tattva Bodha. Read a book called Tattva Bodha. Tattva Bodha will tell you what is the body, how the body, mind, soul. Tattva Bodha. Please read that. That's a very good book by Adi Shankara.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Sachin has a question. Sir, if you're not able to kill the mind, is ignoring the mind an alternative? My dear Sachin, if you're not able to kill the mind and you ignore the mind, it is a good solution for 5 minutes. But after 5 minutes, it will come back. So do you want the mind to come back in 5 minutes and trouble you again? The mind will create fear, worry, stress, depression, along with anger. The ego, it will create anger, hate, revenge, jealousy. You want all that, Sachin? Ignoring the mind is not a solution. Ignoring the mind means that the mind is just outside your door. The moment you open the door, the mind will be in. The thoughts will be in. You have to not ignore the mind. You have to transcend the mind. You have to kill the mind. You have to make the monkey into a monk. M-O-N-K. You have to be a master only in yoga. No thoughts. Kill the mind. Monk. You have to be a master with intellect, with no thoughts. And you have to be able to be in discrimination. So I've given you some acronyms for you to become a master. So anybody else has any important question? We have to wind up in 2-3 minutes. So as I told you, it is very important, my dear friends, to be a master of the mind. If you are not the master of the mind, or which means master of your thoughts, I can guarantee you misery. I can guarantee you bad mood. I can guarantee you regret and fear and stress and anxiety. I can guarantee you unhappiness. I can guarantee you. Now let me take the reverse. Ready? I'm giving you the reverse. If you are unhappy, what is the cause? If you're unhappy, what is the cause? Only one answer. There are no two answers.
Mind.
Only one answer.
Mind.
Only mind. Only mind. Only
Mind.
mind. If you don't mind your mind, if you don't mind your mind, misery you will find. If you don't mind your mind, misery you will find. My dear friends, keep on repeating this. If you don't mind your mind, misery you will find. Stress you will find. Fear you will find. Worry you will find. Anxiety you will find. Some people tell me, I get so many anxiety attacks. You get what you get? Anxiety attacks. कहाँ से आता है? From where? Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Lucknow. From where?
Mind.
Anxiety attacks coming from the mind.
Mind.
Because if you shut the mind, there will be no thoughts. Okay, Bliko is coming, I think, for the last comment. Bliko. Yes, sir. Unmute, please. Sure, Bliko.
My comment is that this is very nice. The only thing is CBTC, come back to consciousness, is the solution. And one more thing I want to add is you have to tell yourself that God is with me. When God is with me, what else I want? I should be in consciousness, because that is the source of my happiness. Why I should depend on anything else?
When you are in Bliko, since you've brought up this matter, let me close in this matter. The moment you are enlightened, then God is not with you. God is you. God is you. The moment you are enlightened, then you don't have to flip over from mind to consciousness. When you have enlightened, you don't have to come back to consciousness. because you're always in consciousness. So, Bliko, what is the final solution, Bliko?
Aham Brahmasmi, we have to realize.
Our whole goal, my dear friends, our whole goal is Pirlu. Our whole goal is to be in that state of Pirlu. I think you are making me continue, but I will continue till masters are speaking. Rajesh Rao. Shairi, a question.
Sir, you asked what is the final, this one. So I have this final is, Kabhi man Ganga bahe, kabhi bahe patal. मन के जीते जीत है, मन के हारे हार.
Would you like to explain that to people who don't understand Hindi very well?
In a fraction of a moment, the mind can go to Ganges. In the fraction of a second, it can go to hell. Only those can survive who can win the mind. मन के जीते जीत है और मन के हारे हार.
You heard, Samatma, you heard what Rajesh said in Shairi mode? Huh? Blitz, you heard? Blitz, you understood? Blitz, what Rajesh said? Rajesh said the mind, in 1 minute, the mind can be in Eiffel Tower. In 1 minute, mind can be in Statue of Liberty. The mind can jump from Paris to New York in 1 second. And if you don't win the mind, then you have lost the battle of life. The whole battle of life you lose, because if you lose to the mind, you have lost your complete peace, your complete happiness, and your complete life. With that beautiful ending, to all of you, Girish, Bliko, Rajesh, Rao, and all you divine beings who come on this call every day, Samatma for letting me be peaceful to start this call, and Ashok Chotwani and Sudeep, and also people like who are silent like Parvati Amma and Bliss, who constantly is there on this call, and all of you, Yogini, Rekha, rest of you, Tushatma, Rohit, to ask questions. To all you divine souls, I fold my hands, bow down to you, and we'll see you soon again.